Good morning, students. I am Snehal from KD Society's BCA College Nipani. So in the previous sessions we discussed on the concept of the quick sort. Then we had seen what is the quick sort and how the quick sort it is getting working. But to understand this concepts very effectively, we need to consider the example related to the quick sort. So to understand the concept of the quick sort, let's see the example associated with the quick sort. Okay, so let us take a list of elements and process through quick sort. Okay, so the list is 48, then 29, then 8, then 59, then 72, then 88, then 42, then 65, then 95, then 19, then 82, and the 68. So we will consider the iteration iteration 1. We'll consider the iteration 1. So here we are taking the 48 as its pivot number. Then we have to start the comparison from the right to left. Okay, so now the first element from right to left. So the first element which is less than the 48 is 19. So interchange it with the interchange 19 with the pivot number 48. So after changing the list becomes now, see, 19, then 29. We will write like this. Now 19, then 29, then 8, then 59, then 72, then 88, then 42, then 65, then 95, Then here we are going to put our pivot number as 48. Then we are going to write the 82 and the 68. Okay, so now the comparison in the iteration 2 we are going to consider here. Now here the comparison starts from the 19 and will be from and start from the 19. So we need to move from left to right. Okay, so the first element here the 48 is the pivot element. 48 is the pivot element. So the first element which is greater than the 48 from left to right is 59. So interchange it with pivot. So interchange it with the pivot. So after interchanging, the list becomes as C 19, then 29, then 8, then we are going to write here as a 48. Okay, and then we are going to write here the 72, 88, then the 42, then the 65, then 95, then we are going to write here as the 59, then 82 and the 68. So now again we need to consider the iteration 3. So now the comparison is getting, now here the pivot element remains same as 48. Same as 48. So now the comparison starts from the 59, and here we will move from right to left. Okay, so the first element, which is less than the 48 is the 42. So interchange it with the pivot. So interchange it with the pivot. So after interchanging it with the pivot, okay, so after interchanging, the list becomes as 19, then 29, then 8, then we are going to write here as the 42, then the 72, then the 88, then the 48, then the 65, then the 95, then we are going to write the 59, then 82, and the 68. Okay, so again we are going to consider the iteration 4. Okay, so here now again the comparison starts from the 42. Now here the pivot element is remain as 48. Now the comparison starts from the 42. So and it will be from left to right. It will be from left to right. So the first element which is greater than the 48 is the see, if you are going to consider the list, is the 72. Okay, 72. So interchange it with the pivot. So after interchanging, the list becomes as 19, then 29, then 8, then 42. Then now here we are going to write the 48, now then the 88, then the 72, then 65, then 95, then 59, then 82, and then the 68. Okay, now the comparison, it will be get starts from the 72, and it will be from right to left we need to consider. So there is no element which is less than the 48. Okay, see, I will write here. Now after this, with the iteration 5, here the comparison starts from the 72, but 72 from right to left, there is no element which is smaller than the 48, so which means that now the 48, that is the pivot, is placed at proper position in the list, so we can divide the list into two sublists, that is left of the pivot and the right of the pivot, that is the left of the pivot and the right of the pivot. So new generated list becomes are as follows. So sublist 1 is equal to 19 space 42 space 8 space 42, and the sublist 2 becomes now 88, then 72, then 65, then 95, then 59, then 88, then 68. Okay, so these two lists. Now we have a need to do the same procedure for this sublist. So now we have a need to do the same process for sublist, and at the end all the elements of list will be at proper position, proper position. Okay, so like this we need to consider with respect to the quicksort. So here I will do one more time with the sublist 1. So again, quick sort for sublist 1. So elements are C 19, then 42, then 8, then 40, sorry, so we have taken, sorry, 29, it's not 42, 29, it's 29, then 8, then 42. So for the iteration 1, now here 19 is the pivot element, okay, and we need to start the comparison from right to left. We need to start the comparison from right to left. So now the first element, which is less than the 19 from R to L, is the 8. So interchange it with pivot. Okay, so after interchanging, the list becomes as, okay, sorry, we'll write here in this. Okay, now let's become as 8, then 29, then 19, then 42. Okay, so consider the iteration 2. Okay, now here the pivot is same as previous, where the pivot is same as previous. Okay, so we need to start the comparison from we'll start the comparison from 8. Okay, comparison from 8, from left to right. So the first element, which is greater than the 19 from left to right, left to right is 29. So interchange it with pivot. So after interchanging, the list becomes as, say, 8, then 19, then 29, then 42. Now we need to consider the iteration 3. So here the pivot is 19, so we need to start the comparison from, so we need to start the comparison from 29, that is from right to left. So there is a no smaller element than the 19 from R to L. Okay, now which means that the array sublist 1 is now sorted. Okay, and all the elements are placed at proper position. Okay, now after this we need to start the quick sort on the sublist 2. It is also done with same procedure. So here I am not going to solve this particular. So this is the thing which we need to consider with respect to the quick sort and how it is getting working with the quick sort, or how to solve the examples on the quick sort. It may be get happen that such a type of a questions it will get asked to you in your university question papers, and if it is not getting asked, then also this type of a logic it is very required, or it is very necessary to understand how to write the program for the quick sort, or how to try to implement the programs which is based on the quick sort. So as we have seen that, every time we need to consider that all the elements on the left side of the pivot should be smaller or equal to the pivot, and all the elements on the right side of the pivot should be greater than or equal to the pivot. So this is the thing which we need to consider with respect to the quick sort. So when you are going to take the first element as a pivot element, place the pivot at the proper place. So the elements of the list that is pivot, it will be at the proper place. Now create the two sublist left and right side of the pivot. and repeat this process until all the elements of the list are at proper position. So these things which we have repeated, what we have seen the theory, that particular thing we had implemented in the example. So with this we are going to implement the program for the quicksort, and with this we are trying to solve the second sublet also if we got the time with that. So till then, thank you students. Let's see the next video with the example or the program on the quicksort.